Welcome to the Depth Dive. Today, we're plunging into the really fascinating world of aquatic life. Specifically, we're looking at Jewel cichlids. They've got some surprising secrets, it turns out.
They really do.
Yeah, and we're drawing insights from a pretty recent post, Notes on Fishkeeping, Part 126 by Ang, came out August 5th, 2025.
Right.
And the core question, it's kind of specific, maybe not what you'd first think of. Is isolation good for jewel cichlid growth?
It's a great question.
It is, and these insights, apparently from years of observation and breeding, well, they might challenge some common ideas. Okay, let's unpack this.
What's fascinating here, I think, is that while Ang is talking specifically about jewel cichlids, they actually suggest these patterns. They could apply to other fish, too.
Oh, interesting. So broader relevance, then.
Definitely. Whether you're deep into fish keeping or just curious about animal behavior, there's likely something here for you.
Okay, good. So Ang dives right into it.
Wow.
Is isolation good for jewel cichlid growth? What's the quick answer?
Well, the quick answer, Ang's direct answer, is a clear yes, it definitely helps.
Right. Just straight up, yes.
Yeah. Pretty definitive based on their experience. And it seems to come down to genetics, mostly.
Genetics. How so?
Well, Ang points out that genetics are really crucial for how these fish develop. And they've noticed this phenomenon. In any given spawn, like only about 1%.
1%? That's tiny.
It is. Only about 1% of the fry show this really exceptional growth. They just get way bigger, much more robust than, all their siblings.
And these are the ones Ang calls the alphas, right? That's the term used.
That's the term, yeah, the alphas.
What makes that name stick? Is it just the size difference, or is there more going on, like behaviorally?
Oh, it's behavior, too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They really dominate the tank. I mean, jewel cichlids, generally, they're known for being territorial, kind of aggressive.
Uh-huh. That's a reputation.
But these alphas, it's apparently much more pronounced.
They're very aggressive.
Way more. And because of that, Ang really stresses that you need to isolate these dominant ones early on.
Why early? Just to stop fights?
Pretty much. To stop them becoming overly aggressive and actually, hurting the others in the tank. It prevents harm to the rest of the population.
Wow. So they really can be a danger to their own kind if left unchecked.
Seems like it. Like the tank bullies, maybe?
Yeah.
Bigger, stronger, and not exactly friendly neighbors.
Does Ang give any, specific examples of this aggression? Something that really stood out?
Yeah, there's a pretty stark example mentioned. They recently tried to introduce some paradise fish into the same tank.
Okay. And how did that go?
Not well. All the paradise fish died.
Oh, wow. All of them?
All of them.
Yeah.
Now, Ang is careful, doesn't definitively say the alphas attacked them, but there's a strong suspicion.
A suspicion based on what?
Well, mainly because the alphas apparently grew noticeably larger and more robust since that incident happened.
That does sound suspicious. It really highlights that isolation point, doesn't it?
It really does. The danger seems quite real if they're not separated.
So you've got these big, dominant, maybe even dangerous fish. You'd think, okay, these are the ones you want for breeding, right? Get those strong genes passed on.
You would think so. But this is where it gets kind of tricky, maybe a bit paradoxical.
How so? What's the challenge with breeding these alphas?
Well, despite being so impressive, size, dominance, all that, Ang has actually had no success breeding them.
No success all, after trying.
None. They mentioned trying to pair the alphas with several different females over the years, and just nothing. No breeding happened.
Huh. That's really counterintuitive. Why? Does Ang have any theories?
A couple of possibilities are floated. Ang suggests maybe the females simply didn't bond with the alphas. Or maybe it's the other way around. Perhaps the alphas were too selective.
Too picky, maybe.
Could be. Or maybe something else entirely. The exact reason isn't clear. So for now, the approach is just, letting nature take its course.
Letting nature take its course. It's quite the puzzle, isn't it? The most dominant fish can't seem to reproduce easily.
It's a real paradox. Nature's little curveball, maybe. You get the size and strength, but perhaps not the reproductive success to match.
So we've gone pretty deep into Ang's notes here on jewel cichlids. If we step back, what does this all mean? What are the key things to take away?
Well, I think the main points are, first, isolation does seem to help their growth. That's pretty clear. Second, genetics leads to these alphas, this small percentage of super dominant fish.
Right. And third, that dominance comes with serious aggression, making isolation necessary for the group's safety.
Exactly. And then fourth, that sort of ironic twist, these very alphas pose a real challenge when it comes to breeding.
Okay. So wrapping this part up, if we connect this to the bigger picture, what does this tell us more broadly?
I think looking at these Jewel cichlids gives us some valuable patterns for understanding animal behavior more generally. It touches on dominance hierarchies, how environment, like being isolated, affects development, and also these unexpected roadblocks that can pop up, even for the fittest individuals, biologically speaking. It applies beyond just fish, potentially.
That makes sense. So here's a final thought for you, our listener, to maybe chew on. Given that isolating these alpha Jewel cichlids seems vital for the tank community, but it also seems to stop them from breeding effectively, what does this delicate balance suggest about the kind of trade-offs nature sometimes forces, even on its most dominant players?
It's a good question to ponder. Trade-offs in nature.
Something to think about until our next deep dive.